Hey you guys, I'm Phillip Blume at Blume Photography Studios, coming to you this month from Shutter Magazine to talk about behind the scenes video and my setup, what I use to create promotional content for our business behind the scenes, during shoots, on trips, anything that would help you connect with your client and build that rapport that leads to bookings and referrals later on. So let's talk first. I promised in the article this month in Shutter Magazine to show you our shooting style, which is very simple with an iPhone, how you can create what looks like multi-cam video footage. And then I want to move into the equipment that I use, which has gone through a lot of years of experience and research to decide exactly what our favorite and affordable equipment is. First, let's just talk about this little guy, your iPhone. I'm actually recording on an iPhone 7 Plus right now, which I totally recommend if you haven't checked on with your cell provider lately. We just walked in last week earlier this week to ask about when we were due for an upgrade of our phones. And a lot of our cell providers are becoming more competitive now. So you might find you're actually due for an upgrade if you, like us, didn't have quite the best camera in your phone. So I'm on a 7 Plus right now, shooting 4K. And this is the phone I just retired, my iPhone 6. When I'm using this, or even when I'm shooting DSLR for video, the theory behind creating video content is pretty simple. You don't need to do like Grandpa used to do back in the day and shoot 10 minutes of a flower with the big shoulder top recorder. Really, to smartly and professionally use video recording, you want to do about 5 to 10 second clips. Don't need to be any longer unless you're doing something unusual like an interview where you just keep rolling. And that works well because most of our cameras, especially our DSLR cameras now, won't shoot longer than 18 to 20 minutes because of FCC regulations. So shoot about 10-second clips and keep moving. For every action that you're filming, every detail, if I'm photographing a groom getting ready, he's getting his tie on, I'm going to shoot just from a side angle here for 10 seconds. I'm not even going to stop recording. I'm just going to move immediately up above him and get a downward angle. Maybe that bow tie centered right in the middle of the frame, a nice symmetrical shot. Shoot that for 5 or 10 seconds. And then a wide shot. Get a nice establishing shot that shows the environment he's in so that I can cut away to another clip in that environment later and it makes sense. That'll be a third shot. And I might just go on and do 2 or 3 more shots that same way. So I'm hopping around him essentially. Every 5 to 10 seconds, I'm hopping to another angle and just shooting the exact same thing. What you have in the end is you'll probably end up using about 3 of those shots and piggybacking just a fraction of the shot on top of another shot to really create a sense of place and direction when you have what looks like multicam shots. In fact, our documentary film, which I spoke about just briefly in the article this month, and which gets some new life coming to it later this year when a feature film comes out to theaters nationwide. That whole documentary we shot with one camera, with the exception of a single interview in that film. Everything was shot with one camera, but you can watch that feature-length film and get the sense that you're watching a movie that was shot on multiple cameras from multiple angles, just from that method alone. So let's look at some of these. When I'm behind the scenes, this is the gear I love because it's simple, it's in my pocket. In fact, Eileen, can I get you to grab, if you see my spider holster, bring that over to me. Usually there's a place in my spider holster for my phone, so that's always easy and accessible when I'm shooting. And what do we have here? So I talked about this. This is probably one of my favorite devices. This is the Osmo Mobile by DJI. So it's a motorized self-stabilizing gimbal, just like in all of their drones. But you just handhold it. It's basically like a selfie stick for your iPhone or for your Android phone. And the app allows you to, oh, you're looking for my belt, thanks. Eileen is running around the studio looking for my gadgets that I forgot to get. Thanks, dear. So this is just keeping my camera completely stable and allowing me to do all kinds of things. Now, I mentioned GoPro is, of course, just a fantastic behind the scenes footage grabber. If you have a fancy new one with the screen, you can actually see what you're doing. I have this old GoPro and it does the job for me. It's a wide angle lens, so I just point it close and in the direction of what I want to shoot, and I can bounce around getting a couple different angles of everything. What a lot of people don't know is you don't have to go out and buy one of the stabilizers that specifically made for GoPro, and then maybe have multiple stabilizers in your collection, one for your phone, one for your GoPro, etc. You can actually just use an old case or buy a case for an iPhone, for an Android phone, because this stabilizer has a little sensor and it wants to see a phone-shaped object strapped in. But if you just use a phone case, I don't know why I haven't seen anyone else do this. We're photographers, guys. We're creative. We can figure these solutions out. So just put that on there, rubber band or strap your GoPro to it, turn it on, and all of a sudden you have a really neat stabilizer for your GoPro. It may require just a little bit of balancing after you take your phone off and replace it with this different weighted object. But frankly, because it's motorized, I found that it works pretty well, not even requiring any re-weighting. Now, of course, this GoPro is not going to talk to the app inside my phone, my lovely DJI app, so it's really just good for stabilizing and running around with a smooth GoPro now. But that's really all I want it for. So turning that off, and of course, the Osmo Mobile, I highly recommend over those, even the cheaper Chinese competitors. This thing's made of metal, it's solid, and the app behaves much better than those competitors, so it's worth a little bit extra. These things are less than $300, $299. So one of the best tools you could use. Let me show you also one last thing with the Osmo Mobile, and then we'll get on to audio as well as some of those amazing tricks that I kind of promised to show you. With my Osmo Mobile, I think if you're a spider holster user, which everyone would, I think anyone who uses it becomes addicted. It becomes so much easier to organize and carry all your gear. But I actually just used a long lens pouch, which you can see here. And I usually just have my Osmo Mobile right there so that I can grab it and simply take my phone out of this pouch, put it on there, and even handing this to an assistant is so intuitive, they don't need to have done it before to get the idea of how to walk around and get some behind the scenes footage for me. So that's the mobile. Let's also look at some audio. So right now I'm speaking into my Zoom H1, which I have Zoom H4. I have lots of big, what would be considered more professional recorders. But they're just, frankly, they're so cumbersome. You're not going to put it on a groom's belt. You can't slip it into his back pocket. And even if you connected it to his belt, it's cumbersome. The controls are very archaic, in my opinion. This is very intuitive. Kind of one button on the front and menus on the side. It's very easy. It's actually, to me, more professional when you have simple buttons that you can physically touch rather than having to scroll through big menus. So Zoom H1 I use to record almost everything all the time, behind the scenes work or professional work. And what I'm speaking into right now is my Smart Lav by Rode. Rode, of course, is the name in audio in the industry pretty much. But the Smart Lav is unique because it's actually made to fit into a smartphone. Of course, you can use this as a recorder too instead of a Zoom 1. But because I'm usually using my phone as a camera, I don't have that luxury. And this is great. I can record lots and lots of audio on the memory card here without filling up my phone. So I do want to give you a sense of what these different sounds sound like. So right now I'm speaking into this recorder using a simple SC3 adapter. You'll need the SC3 adapter if you want to plug a Smart Lav, which is made for your cell phone, into an actual audio recorder like this. But why I do that is because now I can just keep this one lav on. I don't have to have different microphones or replace this one. And I can unplug it from here, plug it straight into my phone, and let's go ahead and record on there and see what that sounds like. We'll just open up my voice memo app, and I'll kind of split this into the video on the back end when I edit it. So I'm unplugging there. All right, and now I'm speaking into my lab still, but recorded onto this device. We'll see if you even hear a difference. I'm not sure if you will, but the quality of the mic is important. The quality of your audio recording is also important. Of course, I can control manually the input volume on my audio recorder, and everything on the iPhone is just automatic. So it should probably do a pretty good job. But let's cut that off, and now completely pull out. I'm going to pull out the lav altogether, so I'm not recording into this anymore. Let's just cover that up. I'm actually recording into the microphones built into this audio recorder, my Zoom 1. I'll literally tape this microphone because it has a hold function. So even if I press the buttons on this, it doesn't change. It's not going to undo the settings or pause it. So I can tape this to microphones at wedding events, and those who are giving the toast hold the microphone but are speaking directly into my recorder as well, which is a very simple way to record, rather than plugging all kinds of devices into the DJ's soundboard and trying to use his sound, which is unreliable. A lot of DJs, unfortunately, don't know what they're doing. So that's, in my opinion, the best option. And now, my favorite thing to do, of course, is record into a professional recorder with a professional lav mic. All right, so we should be doing that again. And let's just finish up with one more thing I'd like to show you, which is really exciting. And we will use the phone's voice memo recording for this as well. Wireless lav setups like this, wireless audio, is something that's incredibly expensive. And sometimes you feel like you need it, but it's really a huge investment if you're going to use that just for speaking and getting good audio when you talk to a phone like this for Facebook Live, for instance. So I really bought this for Facebook Live. I had looked at setups that were hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I can't remember what this one cost me, but I think it's somewhere around $19. And it's a hacked system, so it's not exactly what you would find at bnh.com, right? But I want you to look on Amazon if you're interested in this. I found this out from a real estate agent who does Facebook Live videos. Pyle Audio, P-Y-L-E Audio, has this setup, which is a wireless lav mic and a wireless receiver that has a really large adapter on it, an adapter pin that would never fit into an iPhone. However, if you then also order off Amazon this Flanger, F-L-A-N-G-E-R, Flanger FC21 adapter, you can go from that pin to a pin that fits your cell phone. And suddenly, you can do Facebook Live with lav audio going wirelessly to your phone, recording videos or live. So let's just do it. You're going to notice that this is not a high-end microphone, but it sounds better than the echoey sound that just your phone would pick up. And it certainly always helps if you're in a noisy area, an urban setting where cars and motorists are going by, and you want to make all that disappear. Getting a microphone close to your mouth solves that, whether the microphone is quality or not. So I'm just going to plug this in, turn things on. If my batteries are still good, yeah, looks like they're working. Put this fuzzy little, it even comes with the windscreen on here. Again, can't speak for the quality, but I can say that it's turned on. And I'm going to go ahead and just record. Let's do a new recording. Save that. And get a new recording going. Okay, so this is my recording, and I see the audio waves showing up on the screen, so I'm getting some audio just to prove that this is not coming from my phone's audio recorder. I will move that way over across the studio, and now I'm just speaking into this wireless lav and sending a wireless signal over to my phone, which after I dropped, I hope it's still working. But I think it is. It looks like I can see audio waves. Yeah, I can see audio waves on the screen from over here, especially when I talk into my microphone. So that gives you an idea of what these different options give you in terms of quality and sound, and some really nice hacks as well. Remember, if you're using your phone like I do with the mobile as your main camera, be sure to bring extra power cord to charge that phone. Unfortunately, there's no way to plug in I'm going to do the rest of this on this recorder. I hope it sounds okay. There's no way to plug in and charge your phone while it's recording on the Osmo. And of course, carry extra batteries for everything you can, like your Osmo Mobile and your GoPro. Always like to have extra batteries of those. I hope that those tips help. Go out there. It's simpler than you think. Just start with the phone you have, the camera you have. Start recording a little bit of behind-the-scenes content. It plays so well on Instagram. That's what people in that medium are looking for. If you want to gain followers, that's what the medium is for. And certainly if you're on Facebook, video is playing best right now. Their algorithms promote video, so you can actually use advertising if you have video in it. It's going to cost you less to reach more people. So all of that, take it, use it this year, and we'll see you next time. I'm Phillip Blume for Shutter Magazine, and check us out at our website if you'd like to see some of our behind-the-scenes footage created from fashion shoots recently in Europe. We'll talk to you then. Bye.